Welcome back to Belmont Bunch. This week we're going to talk about 3 more games, but we're going to open specifically with the Washington one because we're filming this the night of the Washington game. So it just finished about an hour ago because it takes me an hour to write everything up and then stare at it for 15 more minutes and then stare back at James for 15 more minutes and then go, duh. So here we go. To give a little bit of backstory, we will get to this. Bad effort here. So that's all you need to know. Going into Washington, fans justified in being nervous, seeing as we really had to work to beat one of the worst teams in the league, and then we really didn't work at all in this game. So going into Washington and having Philly tomorrow, the schedule is an important part of this game. I was very nervous tonight. I was kind of just feeling like if we get a point, I'll be happy. They do get 2 points. They do not make it easy, but that is par for the course right now. So let's get into the game. Really good start from the Islanders. You could tell immediately they were way more engaged. Obviously, part of it has to be a little bit of a boost from having blown the last game against Washington so embarrassingly. And also having embarrassed your coach who used to be their coach. So maybe go out there and fight for your coach a little bit harder. Maybe that's what the players were talking about today. But Beauvillier gets one right off the get-go from Bailey and Nelson on a beautiful passing play through the zone. Samsonov has really no chance. This was Nelson coming into the zone. Sorry, Bailey coming into the zone. No, it was Nelson coming into the zone who left it off for Bailey, who then finds Beauvillier for a one-timer, and it's 1-0. Only a few minutes later, the same exact trio combines for another goal. This one, there's a loose puck in front created by Brock and Bailey passing play that ends in a shot on net. Islanders have 3 guys to their 2 in front of the net. Beauvillier pokes it home, and it's 2-0, and it feels great. But we know this is not over. Washington does get one in the first period from not Ovi. At first it was credited to Ovi. Ends up being John Carlson. It's a shot from the point. Takes a deflection in front of Grice. It's tough luck. They did get a third before the end of the period. Devon Taves, who also scored in the game where we blew the 4-1 lead a few weeks ago. So in my head, because I'm a psychopath, I'm already aligning all the different things that are similar from that game and this game, and I'm like, I don't like this. So we're coming out of the first. It's 3-1 after a wonderful, another great assist from Bailey, his third of the period. First Islander to do that since 2002, Mariusz Czerkawski. I think that was at MSG. 3-1 after one. By the way, Taves' shot, just a nice chip shot to the top corner. Samsonov really kind of just left out to dry. The Capitals picked up where they left off when they lost 7-2 the other day against Philly. And I was very surprised they didn't come out on fire. The Isles took very much advantage of the lacking defense and the lacking effort from the Capitals in the first period. Second period, the Capitals returned. They were alive. But not yet, because the Islanders would get one in the first minute from Leo Komarov. This one, great forecheck from the fourth line, and Komarov gets the puck with a lot of space, zips it through the pads of Samsonov, and Samsonov maybe should have had this one, but again, the Capitals defense, nowhere to be found. So it's 4-1, a minute into the second. So now we're exactly at 4-1, and I'm just like, we know it's not over. Taves didn't do the celebration. He didn't do the koozie this time, so that's good. Probably because Trotz would have ended him. But also because I was saying this is a chance for the team to learn from its mistakes from last time. And I thought they immediately, put that to the test, or put it into practice when Eberle makes it 5-1 off a great pass from Anders Lee. And now you're like, okay, 4-1, 5-1, this should be over. But as an Islander fan, you kind of know in the back of your head it's probably not, but enjoy it. Let's enjoy that they're playing this well right now. And here's where you get your heart attack. Weird goal goes off Capital skate in front of the net. My first thought was, there's no way this is a goal. Based on the TV angle, it looked like he kicked it in. Then they show the overhead, and it's like, just bounced off the skate. Not really much you could do there. A little bit soft in front I think it was Mayfield. Mayfield would have an adventure in this game. Mayfield didn't fully pick up his guy. This is a running theme for the Islanders, not being strong in front of their own net.
Not a running theme of Mayfield being bad?
That too. And that would... Thank you for segueing us into Matt Barzal with the Islanders up 5-2 late in the second, steals the puck behind the Capitals net, goes around in front, looks like he might take a shot, blatantly tripped, no call, go down the ice, Scott Mayfield high stick somebody. But they call that. As you do, the Capitals score on the ensuing power play, and it's 5-3, and it's not even the end of the second, and you're having heart palpitations. Luckily, Scott Mayfield does not commit another really bad penalty in the third. He saved it for the second today. And the Islanders actually played a clinical third period, a very Trotzian third period, where they kind of just snuffed the game out, dump and change. Good stick work, James pointed that out. A lot of good stick work defensively to slow chances in their own zone.
I did point that out.
You did.
More poke checking. We need more poke checking.
Active sticks.
Yeah.
Very active sticks. Really, really, really good third period. So that's that. The goals from Greiss that were allowed, not really egregious ones, kind of some weird ones. So that's good to see. Although, like you see across the board, the goaltending stats, they're very average right now, and that still worries me a little bit. But this week, I think you could mostly put it on the defense and less so on the goaltending. Fewer really bad goals allowed from the goalies. But that being said, let's jump backwards now to the Tampa game. The Tampa game, we got to go to the Oyster Brewing Company for that one. Oyster Bay Brewing Company, better get it right. And I got this neat shirt that has yes, yes, yes on the sleeve. Unfortunately, that was the highlight of the night, as I was the DD, and the Islanders sucked. So, but $3 beers. This is not an ad, but it was fun. So, in this game, the Isles play a pretty solid first. Pretty solid. I think the expected goals were pretty much nothing, and that's how it was. The expectations were correct. Very, very quiet first. I was extremely happy with that because it's a good road period, not giving up a lot of chances. And also Tampa Bay is steaming hot. They came into this game having won 17 out of 20, having beaten Columbus tonight. Thank you. That's 18 out of 21. I'm sorry, no, 19 out of 22, because 17 out of 20 coming into this game. This made it 18 out of 21. They win tonight, 19 out of 22. So they're on fire. There's a joke in there somewhere about their team name and fire and sparks. But look at my blog for that. Self-promotion. Shameless self-promotion. Anyway, so that's all well and good in the first period. The Islanders score late in the first. It gets called back. It was about 50 yards offside from Barzal. Sweet shot, though. Ooh. Though it doesn't count. And, we're sitting there. We're feeling good. Everybody else is having drinks. I have pizza and one beer. Enjoying it while I can. And a Sprite. In the second, 15 seconds in, we go behind. We enter the zone. A shot gets blocked. It falls to Pulock. Pulak's hard shot betrays him. And at first I thought this was all Pulak's fault. I said it to James. I said, he's got to get back there. Then I look on the replay, and he shot it so hard, and it rebounded so hard off the backboards because, Pulak's known for missing the net constantly. And this time it killed him because he could not get back in time because the puck is already at their own blue line. Tampa's home blue line, and Pulak's still in the offensive zone, after the aftershock of his shot, and that allows Braden Point to sneak in behind him and slap one from like 3 feet in front of Varlamov on a breakaway. So that's also really kind of tough luck. So in retrospect, at the time I was hard on Pulock, but in retrospect that was some bad luck. That would be the only scoring of the period. Consider that sort of a victory because you're kind of like, all right, we're down one, hottest team in hockey going into the third. And then we give up an awful goal early in the third. Also, we don't show any offensive push. As shown by the shots on goal, we only managed 18. And as you can see by power play, we did not score 5-on-5. So, early in the third, Carter Verhaeghe, former Islander, has the puck below the goal line, and I believe it's Eberle and Pulock miscommunication. Nobody goes with him, so he just walks into the front and puts it past Varlamov, who really can't do much about that. And you're just the defense right now is abysmal, and there's some really bad miscommunication. And it makes me start to think that we need to revise our trade video, not just because Thomas Hertl died after that, but also because I'm starting to think the defense is as big a problem as the offense. But yeah, that would be 2-0 after Verhaeghe scores. Islanders get a power play. We score. Bailey and Bo have a nice little back and forth, and we win a net front battle. Can you imagine that? Derek Brassard wins a net front battle, gets a stick down. Bailey pass right on the tape, tips it in from like literally a foot out. Bailey had a good week point-wise, so good for him. Brassard showing signs of life. Bellows, this was his second career game. Not very visible, but nobody was very visible in this game, so I don't hold that against him. And him not starting in the Washington game is not because he didn't play well here. Nobody played well here. I think who put it best was Brendan Burke on Twitter. Said, you're going to trust your Hall of Fame coach to bench a 21-year-old in what would have only been his third career game against a division rival that last time you had a huge embarrassing loss against. And you want also grit to go up against Tom Wilson. So I understand that. So I understand benching Bellows. Also gives him a little bit of rest for tomorrow's game against Philly, which is another important game. But let's go back to Kiefer Bellows' shining moment of the week against LA, a game that we start down 2-0. Both goals coming off of really just lethargic, bad defense. Another miscommunication on the first goal where Ben Hutton walks into the slot. There's a bad change by the Islander forwards. Nobody picks him up. He just walks in, slots it. Greiss has no chance. Second goal. Mayfield is backing up for no reason, and Brock, who lost the handle on the puck, tries to tip it back to him, but Mayfield's backed up so deep into his own zone that he can't get to it first. Iafallo gets to it first and puts it past Greiss, who's kind of screened. This is the one that maybe you could have qualms with Greiss, maybe not stopping it, but it comes so quickly. It's such a bad defensive breakdown that I don't blame him too much. And also he gets screened by Mayfield, who also was playing too far back. So, man, I'm getting really in on Mayfield recently. The Isles down 2-0 after one. They get booed off the ice. Kind of deserved. Really, really bad effort. Trotz must have gotten into them. They showed real chutzpah in the start of the second, as they would get a goal from Michael Dal-Cole, of all people. Johnny Boychuk, slapper from the point. Dal-Cole, it's more just right place, right time. This puck might have even gone in without Dal-Cole making any contact, but he goes off a skate. He technically wins a net front battle, so I'll give him credit for that. And he's played really well recently, Michael Dal-Cole. And I think a little bit of it is getting some resurgence because of Bellows' good play.
I thought it was because, he was watching the videos and,
yes.
And he was getting positive feedback from you.
That too. But the Islanders would fall down 3-1 before the end of this period. This is the one goal. I've gotten every goal so far. I'm trying to remember their third goal. Because I talked about this on my blog. I got to talk about this. All right. So, the scoring for the period was not over yet, as the Isles would get one through Kiefer Bellows' first career goal. This is the third line. It's alive. Oh my God. To this point in the game, it has the only goal because Dal-Cole has the goal. Dal-Cole does a good job getting the puck in deep. Brassard goes, beats two guys to the puck, spins around, finds Bo streaking through the slot, who finds Bellows on the weak side, slots it into the empty net. First career goal. Great passing play. Third line, alive. Also, Michael Dal-Cole doesn't get an assist on this play, but Michael Dal-Cole actually kind of sets it up with his smart play just to get it deep. Michael Dal-Cole, what have you done? You're playing great. All right, so that's the end of two, and there's some hope. The Isles have not played great. Better effort in the second, offset by some bad miscommunications. But the third period, the Islanders really came out flying, really showed how much they wanted it. Early in the period, they would get a goal from Matt Martin. First minute, the fourth line gets out there. They do their thing. Cizikas finds Komarov. Returning pass for Cizikas falls, gets deflected back to the top of the zone. Shot, saved in front with Matt Martin providing a screen. Martin sweeps in the rebound, and just like that, 0-0, 3-3, whatever you want to call it, we're tied again. And the Islanders really, really took the game from there. Midway through the period, Kiefer Bellows Unreal second goal. So, Jonathan Quick, after that third goal, went back into vintage form, made a few gigantic saves on the Islanders. Brassard, Lee gets a shot off that gets saved by Quick. Brassard on the backhand has basically an empty net with Quick down, misses it on the rebound. It goes all the way to the far side boards, but Kief Bellows is standing right there, and before Quick can even get up, throws it from a very tough angle off the post and in, and it's 4-3 Islanders, and you're thinking this is exactly what the Islanders need. They need someone in Bellows that will just throw the puck on net. The guy throughout the night showed an ability to just get a little bit of open space, throw it on net. That creates offense for us. We need that. And he's got some skill. He sidestepped around a few defenders on 1 2-on-1 in the first period. He's showing skill. He'll be back at it tomorrow against Philly, most likely. Johnston probably coming out of the lineup. But he played fantastic. He gets rewarded, and the Islanders would see it off with an empty netter from Lee, where great hustle, beats out the icing, slides it into the empty net, and they get the W. And they really, yes, it's a little bit unnerving that they had to work that hard to beat one of the worst teams in the league, but at this point in the season, you take the 2 points and you run. It doesn't matter. Take the points. And honestly, all in all, going 2-1 in the stretch, I'll take it. 2 of the better teams in the league, you get a win out of one of them, and you take care of the bad team. That's fine. Get Philly tomorrow. We're going to move on to our 3 stars of the week, but yeah, that is this week. Kief Bellows winning us along with his bottom, I was going to say along with his third line pairing. I almost said alone with his bottom 6, but it doesn't make any sense. He won us that game, the bottom 6 in general, which is why Derek Brassard makes an appearance back on the list. He picked up 2 assists in the LA game. Generally played very well in that game. Has looked a lot better since the lines got shuffled, and he scored the power play goal in the Lightning game to give us a sliver of a hope. So I got to give him some credit there. Josh Bailey picks up 3 assists tonight, had 4 in the 3-game span that we talked about. Really good playmaking ability. We know it's there. He can be very, very frustrating at times, but sometimes you just got to acknowledge that he is a playmaker, and strictly that. Not going to score too many goals. And honorable mention, Michael Dowd-Cole. I know it's maybe disappointing, Michael, that you have had your best week of your career, and it still only gets you an honorable mention. But if you get 2 more like these, you get a free snow cone and a get out of the sin bin free card, which Scott Mayfield's going to need because he's making an indentation in this freaking red hellscape. Stop committing penalties late in periods in games that are close. Can you do that? I'm at my wit's end with Scott Mayfield and his dramatics. He was complaining all the way to the box tonight, and stop committing penalties. Also to the refs, call penalties when they trip Matt Barzal. But Scott Mayfield needs to stop committing penalties, because honestly, if this team had Thomas Hickey available, I think he'd be up, and I think he'd be playing over Scott Mayfield with the amount of penalties he's committing. Noah Dobson saved a goal tonight at one point against Washington. Noah Dobson's been progressing well. You can maybe argue Boychuk's been in a little bit of decline. Maybe Mayfield wouldn't be the 7th. Maybe Boychuk would be, based on ice time right now. Honestly, right now, if I'm Lou Lamoriello, I might think about getting some defensive help so that if Scott Mayfield keeps committing penalties in important times, late in periods, might need to bench him for a game or 2 like we did with Leo and wake him up. My blood pressure is fine. That's this week. Generally wasn't that bad. Like I said to James earlier this week, cannot pin this team down. I don't think we've had a 2-week span where we've been solely happy or solely sad in a while, because this team has been playing 500 hockey and it is just exhausting. But enjoy the fact that they're past Columbus tonight on point percentage. I think the tiebreaker is. They're tied on points, but they moved to 3rd again, and take solace in the fact that Kief Bellows is now in this lineup, and I'm going to stop talking now. So enjoy the Philly game tomorrow. Hopefully another 2 points, and we can start to finally ease into a playoff spot. But okay, give us a like and subscribe, and also look at my blog. Bye.